Happy Friday, folks, here on Lions Nation Unite. We're going to be talking a little bit about free agency, the Lions free agents, and a little bit of the draft on this bye week. Going over the list of free agents, it's quite good for the Lions. I think we're going to be getting rid of some of the players that hasn't produced we would like to see in the past couple of years. They're coming up. So we're going to go over the list really quick, and then it'll kind of give you an idea of what the Detroit Lions' needs will be this offseason, whether it be free agency or in the draft. Let's go. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, trying to get to 9,000 subscribers. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. We talk Lions all day, every day. Let's get into the Lions free agency after this season. And here are the free agent players that the Lions have. And there's a lot of names on here that I think you're not going to be seeing after this season. First off, I do think the Lions re-sign Josh Reynolds. Obviously, he's a great piece for the Detroit Lions. Him, Jared Goff, just got a great connection. I don't think it's going to cost that much at all. I don't think it's going to be too expensive. Donovan Peoples-Jones, well, it's a wait-and-see approach. If he comes in and balls out, they could re-sign him. If not, they can let him walk. Shane Zylstra, I don't think he comes back due to the injury because you do got Brock Wright, and I think you could bring Brock Wright back. He's younger, and he's been more reliable. Matt Nelson, does it really matter? The Lions can go ahead and draft a backup tackle, maybe in the mid to late rounds to overtake a Matt Nelson, but if they want to re-sign him, it's not going to be anything. This is the big question here, is CJ Gardner-Johnson. Will the Lions re-sign him? He had the injury. We did get Brian Branch. He's still young. That's a question mark. I don't know. I don't think a lot of us know. I mean, I would like for him to come back. Just don't know that's going to be the case because of Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, and the depth that we already have at the corner/safety position. Will Harris, he gone. He is gone. The experiment to Will Harris should end this offseason. Craig Reynolds, you can definitely bring him back. Low contract. It's not going to cost you anything. Justin Jackson, nope. Teddy Bridgewater, nope, because you do have Hendon Hooker, and that's why you invested a draft pick into him. So you got a cheap backup, and that's great. That's what it's all about. Knight Sudfeld, nope. They can always get a young guy or somewhere else to be a third string. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, special teamer. Doesn't really matter in my opinion. I know they like what he's doing right now at the linebacker position as well. That's why you're seeing him a little bit above Malcolm Rodriguez. But I don't think it's that big of an issue. James Houston, that's going to be another decision the Lions got to make. Do you want to bring back James Houston? Really, really important for the Lions there to make that decision. So when he comes back, he'll have a couple games, the playoffs. We'll see what he can do. But he's definitely got a high ceiling. We loved him out of the draft. So I think, I just don't know how much it's going to be. We really don't know. Scott Daly, long snapper, don't really matter there. I know he got injured, knocked out for the year. They can always find another one there. Julian Okwara. Do you bring Julian Okwara back? Potentially not. Again, there is the draft. I don't know. We'll see. Anthony Pittman. Doesn't matter. Riley Patterson. The Lions probably just go in a different direction with the kicker. Halapoulivaati Vaitai. This is last year at Detroit. He's not coming back. He's a free agent. He's always injured. The Lions got draft picks. You can replace a guard. They can potentially even make Colby Sorsdale the right guard. I think probable they just go in the draft and get a guy high in the draft in one of the first 2 or 3 rounds. Halapoulivaati Vaitai. G-O-N-E. Can't stay healthy. Jonah Jackson, I think they re-sign him. I don't know exactly how much it's going to cost because he's been injured, but he's a good guard. You don't want to lose all your guards in free agency, and he's a good one. He's not consistently injured like other players like Halapoulivaati Vaitai year after year after year. He does get dinged up, but he's more reliable. Jessica Bindo, he's gone. We have not even used him at all. Benito Jones. You can bring him back on a low deal. He's a rotational player. There's no problem there. Romy Aguara is gone after this year. Charles Harris, gone after this year. Emmanuel Mosley, gone after this year. Khalil Dorsey, you can bring him back. Cheap deal. Jerry Jacobs, you're going to bring him back, but how much are you going to pay Jerry Jacobs? He's been playing number 2 all year. He's going to demand a little bit more money than other corners, potentially. The free agent list is good because we don't need to use a franchise tag on any of these guys. Franchise tag won't be used, and a lot of dead weight's going to be finally taken off here. Like if you look at the average salaries, Romy Aguara, dead weight. Charles Harris, dead weight. We don't know about this one. Emmanuel Mosley, dead weight. Big V, dead weight. Will Harris, dead weight. A lot of these guys that we've seen in this team for the past couple of years, it's not going to be back because you can just turn around and draft the replacements. You can absolutely draft the replacements. And there's other free agents as well. We'll see. You'll do all teams here. And you can see that free agency galore. You can get players. A lot of good free agents in this up-and-coming free agency. And a lot of these guys are not going to get re-signed. Danielle Hunter, you could cut Charles Harris. Well, not cut him. They're free agents, him and Romy Aguara, and bring in Danielle Hunter. Aiden Hutchinson, Danielle Hunter, 1-2. Wow. That would be really nice. That'd be outstanding. Yeah. Good pickup for sure. Absolutely for sure. That's why these teams were looking to trade some of these players because they didn't get them on an extension and they can go to free agency and be gone. They could be gone, but there's a lot of quality talent out there in us up-and-coming free agency that they could get. Got the cornerback position. Something that I feel that we could get potentially in free agency. A lot of good ones. Kendall Fuller, who we talked about potentially re-signing. Adoree Jackson. Yeah, Stephen Gilmore, right? You can bring his brother back even though he's an old veteran. I don't see that happening. Jeff Okuda, you can always bring him back. No. A lot of good players there. A lot of good players. They could go guard too. Like that is a position that we need. And instead of drafting one, I think you could go to the guard position, but personally I would probably just go to the draft and get your replacement at the guard. Re-sign Jonah Jackson, pick up a guard in the NFL draft would be good there. Wide receivers, probably just stick with the ones that we got. I mean, you could bring back, like we talked about earlier, if Donovan Peoples-Jones look good, that'll help. That'll absolutely help. So you don't have to do a whole lot of messing around there at all. You won't have to do a whole lot of dinking around. A lot of talent. But the edge position, another position that we need. Like I said, Danielle Hunter. He'd be the top of my list. Leonard Williams, kind of, yeah, it says D, but he's more of interior. I don't think we got much of a problem there. We could always get better for sure. You could probably do it in the draft. But I think the edge position is more of a priority, and I would like to get Danielle Hunter. I think that would be nice. That would be really, really nice. You get him, it'd be good. If they don't resign Chase Young, you can look at Chase Young. Yannick Ngakoue from the Bears still producing at a high level. He is. Still producing at a high level. A lot of quality talent there for the Lions to get better for 2024. That's what it's all about, is getting better and setting the tone for this team here. Let me get all positions. It's nice. It is nice to see what the Detroit Lions can do. Cap hits. Let's see cap hits here. And yeah, man, I mean, it's cool to mess around with this stuff. You guys can go on there on Spot Track and kind of dink around. You do salaries. Salary cap table. I'd like to do salary cap 2024 and see how much the cap space they got. $58 million in cap space. That's really good. And I think we expect that Jared Goff is going to get extended, so that could relieve for this year a little bit. Taylor Decker, his cap hit's pretty high. You could see a situation where they release Tracy Walker. You could, because his cap hits high. You could absolutely see that. Because, you know, the safeties we already have. Not saying they will or they could rework it. But what they already have. Lions doing pretty good. We got a really good football team. We got cap space to work with. They can make more cap space by re-signing Jared Goff, cutting Tracy Walker. That's something that they definitely could do, and it's going to help. It's going to help the team out if you want to get free agency, for sure. And you got to have some money for the NFL draft, which I did do a mock draft, but I'll do that on another video. But this is free agency, and I think the Lions are set up pretty good, folks. So let me know what you guys think. Who should we bring back? Who should we leave alone? With that said, folks, adios.